How's it going, everybody? This is JR Swab on everywhere. Witness to the smoke community, all the smoke witnesses out there. Actually, this is more for anyone who wants to become a smoke witness. This is kind of my walkthrough on how I do it using the smoke hotbox that I created with Docker to kind of make things a little bit more contained and uniformed, so that we all have the same experience. And if one person has a mistake, then I could fix it in Docker and then push it out, and no one else would have that mistake. If you want to see my profile, in case you don't know, this is it. First and foremost, I am a follower of Jesus. I'm not going to leave that out because it is very important to me. It literally changed my life. Smoke witness, of course. I don't know what I'm at, really. I think I'm at like 21. Last time I checked, I was at 21. I don't know. I don't look every day. Where am I? Yeah, 21. Not bad. If you want to vote for me, please do. I appreciate every vote, no matter how big or small your vote may be. Every vote counts. Don't forget. And you can vote up to 30 people. If you want some advice if you want to know who I vote for, go ahead and ask either in the comments or on Discord, and I will be glad to share with you. And you can read the rest of my profile, a little bio here, see what I'm about. I'm a little atypical when it comes to a lot of things, so you should find something good there. Everything I post on Steam, hard habit to break here, on Smoke is basically going to be about things I'm making for the network, because I don't actually smoke cannabis or use cannabis. The closest I get is I do have a hemp juice that I use on occasion to help tight muscles and stuff, because I do get these tension headaches. It does help a little bit. I think I need a stronger version of it, but that's another story. So what you'll see here most of the time that I make, like I posted this here. It doesn't make sense to me to post that I'm going to be streaming on Twitch one day. What I'm posting from here on out are things to help the smoke blockchain, or things like this, securing your Linux server, things that will help people that are witnesses, or people that want to start witnessing, kind of understand how to actually do it. Because we do use Linux servers because it's the most robust, in my opinion. And if you're using the Docker that I created, you're going to have to use Linux because it won't run as well or at all on a Windows machine. So this is what we're going to follow today. I'm going to do this live, so any hiccups I come across, as I'm doing this, I'm going to follow these directions, and if I hit a snag, down to the directions are something's wrong with the directions, and you can see that live. So we're going to do this. If you have a witness and you want to move to Docker, this first section here, moving an existing witness to the hotbox, it's actually not that difficult, as long as you follow these directions. And if you're doing this and you have any questions, feel free to ask. Be happy to help out. So we're going to do this today. I'm actually using a DigitalOcean instance. This is what I'm using right now. You could use Linode. I do have a Linode server as well, which they have good prices. The reason I'm going with this DigitalOcean for this is because it is. I wanted to get to know DigitalOcean a little bit more succinctly, because a lot of people use DigitalOcean, and sometimes a lot of companies will use it, like especially startups will use this. They'll use DigitalOcean because it's very modular in a lot of the ways they do things, so it's pretty cool. So I have two here. As you see, I have Smoke and Smoke D. This is basically overkill. What I'm moving to, which I'm doing from scratch to show you guys how to do this, is one that's like half the cost. It's $10 a month, and it's more like this. Still is more than enough. This 2 gigabytes, 2 gigabytes of RAM, 50 megabytes of space. It's good enough. It's more than enough that we need right now, but eventually we'll have to move up to this anyway, so we'll see. Hopefully by the time we have to upgrade, the price of Smoke goes up. I think it will, because I think we have a very unique network. So I'm going to copy my IP address right here, and I'm going to go over to another. Okay, so now I'm in the terminal. I'm going to SSH into my server. So what you guys see here, I've already done the setup of the server earlier today, and I created a new user, and I secured the Linux server, all that stuff, which is in the post I have about securing it. There's also the documentation for witnesses that exists, the official Smoke witness information, has a lot more you can do to securing your server. So if you want to be the most secure you can possibly be on your witness server, follow those directions. If you want something that is something that gets you running, like something quick, get it started, my post, I think, is it gets the essentials. But like I said, if you want every little thing that you can possibly secure to make it a little bit better, definitely use there. This is the server, and in my directory is my .files, which is not important for this tutorial. So what we're going to do is follow these directions. So first thing I need to actually install Docker for Ubuntu. So you could install Docker from the Ubuntu repository, but I suggest you don't do that, and I suggest that you actually follow the Docker instructions to do this, because the version of Docker that is in Ubuntu may be older than what they have currently, and you want to make sure you have the most up-to-date version. So this is what we're doing. That link in the post takes you right here. So uninstall old versions if you have them. So I'm gonna run this just to see if I actually do have an old version or not. So I'm gonna paste that. I'm actually get my password again because I just overwrote it. Big tip though, this is super helpful. Use Bitwarden to store your passwords. It's encrypted. It's super secure, and you don't have to worry about like messing it up, like I just did. So yeah, we don't have Docker installed, so that's good to know. So what we're going to do is follow the next step. So running Ubuntu 16.04. You should always use this when running Smoke Witness. Don't use the newer one. I wouldn't even use 14.4. 16.4 is, we know it works, so just go with that. The Docker that I have is 16.4. It uses the 16.4 Ubuntu Docker image, so you probably can get away with using a different version of Ubuntu if you have already installed that on your server, but just be aware that it might be a little bit weird or different, and if that's the case, again, you can message me on Discord and I'll try and help you through it. So we have all of this, and so what we're going to do here now is to install the repository. We could do the apt-get update, so sudo apt-get update. If you are as root, you don't need to use sudo, and I strongly recommend that before you go with this tutorial, that you secure your server and create a new user and only use that user to run these commands and such, because it's important. So now we're going to install this, which is important things, certificates, software, things that you might not have on your version of Ubuntu that comes with your host, because every host is a little different with what they include by default. DigitalOcean seems that they already have all this stuff anyway, so that's pretty nice. And so now we're going to get the GPG key to make sure we have the correct copy of Docker. And it says okay, got that added in there, so whenever we check, it's there. So now we can check to make sure the fingerprint is the same. So we're going to take this and we're going to copy that and say, hey, is this fingerprint the same? Hey, it's good. All right, so we know that. So what this is basically doing is saying, hey, go to docker.com, get the key for what we're trying to install here. And then we're saying this is the key it's supposed to be, and then yes, it's the same key. If this was a fake site, this key would be different and it wouldn't work. This is just letting you know that you actually did pull down the correct Docker image. So there's that. So we're going to actually use this x86_64/AMD64, because if you're running a server, you're going to be using this. If you're running it on anything else, you'll have to use these, but you're probably not. So just use this. If you don't know you have something different, you don't have anything different. So we're going to do this, and again, just copy and paste this. Like, this is not super difficult. I've followed these directions a few times, and it's pretty straightforward. So there we are. It's already done. We're good to go on that one. Okay, so now we're actually going to install Docker. This was doing a bunch of setup work. Now we're going to install. So now we're going to actually run the update again to make sure all our repositories are up to date. Sudo apt-get update, and it's going to go through, pull any repositories it needs. The Docker repository might be added. Doesn't look like it was, so it's all good. Your list might be longer. Your list may be shorter. Don't worry about how long or short that is. It's all about just getting it done, letting it run through. So now this is where we're going to actually install the version of Docker. So we're actually going to run this command here. So we're going to do apt-get install docker.ce, which stands for Community Edition. And we're going to say yes to this. You can type Y and press enter, or you can just press enter because Y is capitalized, which means it defaults to that if you press enter. And we wait. Okay, so that is done. Good to go. And now we're going to come down here. So this is to install a specific version unless available, which we're not going to do that. We're going to just run with this. And you can say install a specific version by telling it what version you want. Again, don't recommend doing that. It's not super useful. But now we can check to make sure that Docker is actually installed by running this Docker command. It's going to download the Hello World app. So we run this, and it downloads. It says, hello from Docker. This message shows that you installed. Your installation appears to be working correctly. So you can also see that if we go sudo docker ps-a, we'll see we have a process that ran and exited. It was created 11 seconds ago, and it is exited because it had nothing else to do. So we're going to actually get rid of this. We're going to do sudo docker. We're going to do rm hello. Nope, that's not the name of it. The name is suspicius _ Edison. Your name's gonna be different, so look at the very far end of this. You'll see that this is my name here. Yours is gonna be different, most likely. If it's the same, I'll be really surprised. So that's how you get rid of that. So if we run docker psa again, we see we have no dockers running, which is very nice. All right. So what we can do, say upgrade Docker, select from package. Where is the? So this is running. What I always do is I create a Docker group, and I assign the user to the Docker group so that I don't have to type sudo every time I want to type a Docker command. So click this link right here. It says Linux post install. We're gonna follow this. It does let you know that this does essentially grant root privileges to the user you're doing this for, specifically for Docker stuff. So do keep that in mind, that it's going to be able to do things that it wouldn't otherwise be able to do within the Docker realm. So we're going to actually first add the group, and we're going to call it Docker. So we're going to copy that command, and it is sudo group add Docker. It already exists. Okay, good to know. And then we're going to run this. So I'll explain what this is so you guys know what this is. So basically what this is saying is super user do this following command. And what it's doing is it says user mod, basically modifying users or whatever. And we're going to add to the group. We're going to append this group to the user. And this $, capital word user, is going to pull the current user that you are and replace that keyword $user with your user. So there's that. And then we want to log out and log back in. So I'll be right back. I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, so we're back, and you can see on the screen now that I ran docker ps-a without sudo, and it gives us the information. So you can do this if you want. You don't have to. Do keep in mind that even though you gave it root privileges for Docker stuff, if I do apt-get install Python, it's not going to do this because it's going to be like, hey, you don't have permission. So it's only for Docker stuff, which is better than nothing, but someone would be able to go in and basically remove Docker from or mess with your Docker images without your password if they happen to get in without your password. Okay, so we had that set up. We're good to go now. So now we're going to pull the Git repository, which is this. So copy this right here. Git clone, and then the URL to the Hotbox. Make sure you're in the home directory. I am, so we're going to run this. If it says Git's not installed, what you want it to do is do sudo apt-get install Git, and then put your password in, which I don't have actually, so I'm not going to do that. But it'll prompt you to install Git, and that's how you do that. I already have installed because I use it for other things as well. My setup has Git in the setup script that I wrote. So we have that now. So if we now list directories again, we see we have a Hotbox. In the next direction here, it says to cd into Hotbox and Docker pull this. So you can actually do this in 2 steps, which I'll do. So just to show you guys this, I'll break this down. So we're going to change directory, which is what cd means. Change directory to Hotbox. So now we're in the Hotbox directory. This is the Docker. This is the repository that we downloaded. We're going to go into what you need to worry about, what you don't need to worry about in a second here. So we're going to actually pull the Docker. So what this is doing, this is pulling the Docker image onto your server. Like, it's downloading the image that you're going to run. So we already have all the other files, which technically you could build Docker from here. You could build it yourself if you want to, but that's kind of a hassle. It's not really worth your time when you can just do this. Docker pull /hotbox:1:0:0. Use that. That's the latest version. It's the newest version. I don't know if it's technically the latest version. That's all semantics. So do that, and so now we see here that Docker is downloading all of the pieces it needs to be able to run whenever we run this, and that's very important. Okay, so now it's done. It may take some time for you. It all depends on how fast the download is for your server, where it's located, and all that stuff. So we had that downloaded, so now it has a new image, so that image exists, which is what we needed. And so now what we can do, so this is run docker.sh and enter Hotbox. So if you run this as one command, it'll start the Docker and then it'll push you into Docker. So these two commands are actually important here. You can specify the ports you want with this. So you can say, oh, I want this other port to be exposed. By default, we expose port 2001 to 20001, port 8090 to port 2890. So if you have a firewall set up, so if you set up UFW as per the Smoke.io witness instructions on securing your server, you're going to need to take those two ports, 2001 and 28091. You're going to want to allow those ports, open those ports to send and receive, or else you're not going to be able to do anything. They're going to think you're offline, and that's not good. I don't have my firewall set up yet, so I'm not going to worry about that. But we're going to run this in two pieces so you guys can see what's happening. So first, what we're going to do, if I list the directory out, we have these files. /run docker.sh is just saying, hey, execute this Docker file, this file. And what this file is doing is actually, so if I open up Vim, I can show you. It's saying, did the person ask for ports? Yes or no? And if they did, then put them in there. If they didn't, then don't put them in there. And we're also tying in the Smoke directory to the location that we're currently in. The location is reading for Smoke, and so when you're running this inside the Hotbox directory that we downloaded, it's saying, okay, take the directory called Smoke and link that up to the directory called Smoke inside of Docker. This is so that the information can be saved to your server, even if the Docker image, the Hotbox, if you close it down, restart it, whatever, you won't lose your information, your block history, all your files. So that's important. This is what that's doing. You don't even really know that because it's kind of like it just happens. But I wanted to kind of show you guys what's going on there. So /run docker, and you see it starts up. So if we do docker ps-a, you can see that we started up the Hotbox. And it's been up for 6 seconds, created 6 seconds ago, and you can see over here we have these two ports that are being ported. So on your server, port 20001 is being forwarded to port 2001 inside the Docker. 20001 and 8090 are defaulted for the witness servers. That's why that's like that. And again, make sure you open those ports up if you are using a firewall. And the name of this is Hotbox. If you ever need to stop it, cancel it, whatever, you just use the name Hotbox, and it makes it easier than typing in this giant ID. So now we're there. The next step is to run the enter Hotbox. Now you have to use this when you enter the Hotbox, so I'll show you why. So this is saying, or it's a very simple command, and you can run this yourself if you want, but I have it in a script, so all I have to do is just type that, and it's so much quicker. But we're telling Docker, hey, use Control-H to be the detach key, because the default detach key for Docker doesn't work whenever we're in tmux, which we need to have running for the witness server to have both the wallet and the Smoke D running at the same time. And so this is saying make sure Control-H gets us out of the Docker file without closing Docker. Very important. You don't want the Docker to stop running because then your witness stops running. So make sure you use this to execute to get into your Docker. So that's why it's called enter Hotbox. Seen people that help that downloading the repository kind of confuse them. Like, oh, do I need to do this install thing? Do I need, like, right now? Like, no, you don't. That install script is for Docker. It's very important. Different stuff. So we enter into the hotbox. So this is the witness hotbox. If you do ls, you can see we have a config file folder directory. We have a install.sh, which is important for us to install things, and we have smoke directory, which that smoke directory is linked to the smoke directory and the directory where you run the hotbox. We did the /run docker or whatever I called it. I think it was run hotbox. So this is here. This is good. So now we go to the next step, and the next step is to run install.sh. This was because there was a person that was helping, and this was giving problems. So we're gonna see if it actually works out the box. It has for me in the past, but there was at least one person that that messaged me saying this isn't working, and we had to walk through it manually. So hopefully this works. So just do /run or /install. You can also do bash install if you want. Install.sh. Let me run this, and it worked. All right, cool. Out the gate, no problem. So it starts up the smoke it starts up the smoke D, and then after a few minutes, after a few seconds, it kills the process, because we just needed it to run briefly so we can get a special folder, special information in the smoke directory. So if we go to smoke, we can see we have the witness node directory, we have the CLI wallet, we have some other stuff in there. We needed that witness node data directory. That's why it has to be run. So once we did that, we move into smoke. So change directory, cd smoke, which I just did, now I left it. And again, I'll list the directory so you guys can see what's in there. And we need to run this wallet, and we're going to pick a passphrase and all that fun jazz. So I'm going to have to, so the reason why I have this run wallet is because there's a special command you have to do to run the wallet, and I'll show you. I'll just cat it out, cat run wallet. So you see right here, this is what you'd have to type if you weren't using the little script I made, and you can do that if you so choose. But I got tired of typing that, so I made a script. All about efficiency. Run wallet, and it does all this stuff, right? Like, oh, cool, now it set a new password. So what you do here is you actually make the password. So you're going to do set password, and you're going to pick your passphrase. So set underscore, I can't remember already. Yeah, set underscore password, and then you put in your password. You don't put anything special in there. You don't need any parentheses or anything. So let me do that real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now the wall is unlocked. You won't see all of these unlocked. I press enter a bunch of times because my password's on the screen, and that's not cool. So yeah, now that you set the password, I'm going to import your smoke private active key. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to do import underscore. I can't remember already. This is why I just copy and paste things. Import underscore key, and now you put in your private posting key. Again, no commas, no parentheses, nothing. Just import that. I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Okay. And if it's successful, you'll see the word true, and you'll see the word unlocked. Again, you won't see all these extra unlocks because you're not pressing enter a million times like I had to. Remember to use your private active key. It's very important. The one that you would use to send smoke around the network. If I'm saying Steam for a lot of things, I thoroughly apologize. So now we have to suggest a brain key. Again, I'm going to have to do this and not show you guys this, but essentially run this command in the wallet, and you'll get out a result. So I'll be back once that's done. Okay, now that's done. Again, you won't have all these words that say unlocked. You'll have a brain key, which is a bunch of words. You'll have a with key, which is looks like a key. You have a public key. Those are the three keys you'll have. You want to take those, copy them, and paste them somewhere because you're going to need them in a little bit. So save those somewhere. You can write them down if you want, but I would just copy and paste them. The easiest way to go about it. So now you suggested that, we're going to import that private with key that we just got from the brain key. So literally the next step is to use what we just got. So I'm going to do that again. So we're going to do import underscore key. And now, again, no parentheses, no commas, no quotes, but import that private key. I'm going to do that. The with key that you just got from the brain wallet. I'll do that and I'll be right back. So once again, you won't have all of these unlocked running through here, but you will see the word true after you import it. If you see true, that's good news, and you'll see the word unlocked. Now we'll move on to the next step, and that is to open up a new Tmux window. This is important because we need to have the wallet open, or at least running, and we need to have the smoked running. I don't know why this is. When I'm witnessing for Steam, I didn't have to do this. I could have the wallet closed and it would still work, but until someone fixes that, we're going to have to do it this way. So to open a new Tmux window, you do Control B. So you press Control B, and then you press C. Don't hold down Control B, but do Control B as one combo, let go, press C. So you should have something like this. Control B, C, and you'll get a new window. You can see we're back at the very top of the directory. Very good. So now what we're going to change directory into the witness node directory data stuff. So just copy that. It'd be easier for you. And paste it. So now we're in here. You do Control S. You'll see we have a config.ini. And we're going to go into that. So if you're new to witness Linuxy stuff, or you just don't like Vim, use Nano. Use whatever you want. Nano is the easiest. So if you're new to using Linux servers, use Nano. I'm going to use Vim because that's what I use. So just keep in mind, instead of putting Vim here, you would put Nano and then config.ini. And it opens up this glorious file. Now this has already been set up for you a little bit. All the seed nodes are in there that that need to be there. A bunch of other stuff's in there. I think at the bottom there's some things. No, there's not. No, just the top. But I did all there's a few steps in the official witness setup information that you have to go in and actually add things in here, like the RPC endpoint, the seed nodes, all that jazz. But I did that already, so we're good. You don't need to worry about it. It's already there. And whenever you run install.sh, it copies that to its appropriate place after it executes and all that jazz. It's great. Automation is awesome. I love it. Makes my life easy. So there we go. Now we have to find the line that says #witness. So basically, you want to push it down. If you're using Nano, just press the down arrow until you found it. If you're in Vim, you can just do this. Oops. And it's right here. I don't know what line number this is, but basically we're going to come down here, and you want to get rid of that hashtag, and then here you want to put your name, and you want to put your name in quotations. That's very important. Put your name in quotations. Now find the line that says private key, which is right below it, right down here. And we're going to take this, and we're going to put our private key in here. Whoop. Not like that. And we're going to put our private key in here. Now this does not take any quotations around it, so put this in here. I'm going to do it myself, and then I'm going to save it and leave the file. So it's personal. This is the private key that you got from step 10 when we got that brain key. This is that WIF key. You need that. You need that WIF key. So take that and put it, see, no quotations, put it in there, and then you want to save and exit. If you're in Nano, you do Control X, and then it'll ask you a question, you press yes to save, and then you press enter to execute the command, and it exits out of it. So I'm going to do that now, and I'll be right back. Okay, now it's done. I entered my private key, and I saved it and left the file. And now the next step we do is we cd doubles. So we're going to cd ... and it takes us back out to the smoke directory. As you can see, we're in the smoke directory where it has smoked. And we're going to run /smoked. And now we're going to basically wait, right? You're going to end up seeing, once you see what looks like, it'll say handle block, have a little like bracy, and then it says got X number of transactions on block by such and such a witness. Once you start seeing that, you can then broadcast that you're live. Which to do that, well, let's just go with it here. So I'm going to run /smoked, and it's going to say, hey, you'll see your name about right here, JR Swab, and it's going to so you're seeing it says handle block, but you see it says here synchronize blockchain. This is not what you don't broadcast that you're live yet, because that's not going to be useful. Once it is done and you see got block, what you're going to do is you're going to do Control B and then you're going to press 0 to go back here, and you're going to run this. You're going to take witness update, put your name, put your URL, put your public key. Right here I have the public key is the public key we got from the wallet acceptance. So the brain wallet we got before, it had this the brain key, which is the words, had a WIF private key that had a public key. Take that public key and you want to put that in here, and then you run it, and you send it through the wallet right here. And once that's done, you will see a bunch of stuff go through this, blurt through the screen. You'll see some yellowish words. Let's just scroll by, and you'll see a group of grayish text, and that should show you like what you broadcasted, and that's it. That's all you need to do, and then you're a witness. And so once that's done, it's running. You can go back to see the blocks. To go back to see the blocks, you can do Control B and then the number 1, and you're back here to syncing the blockchain. Very cool. But you need to exit this though, because you can't just close your server down like this, because then you'll just kill the Docker, and that's kind of useless. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. You can enter a new TMUX window. You don't want to run the command while you're inside of smoked, so do Control B, C, gives you a new one. You can see at the bottom, it does say smoked. This is what's running is smoked. And so you know which one is going to be your witness. So now you're in this blank canvas here. You want to do Control H. So if we do Control H, you'll see read escape sequence, and now you're back into your actual server. See, back here. So if you do Docker ps-a, if you didn't do the group thing we did earlier, then put sudo in front of it, and you'll see the Docker is running. It created a new Docker. It was created 18 minutes ago, and it's been up for 18 minutes with these ports. So we're good. It's running. That's all there is to it, guys. If you want to get back into it, just make sure you are in Hotbox. So if you log in to your server, you might be in the home directory. So you want to do cd Hotbox, and then you want to do /enter Hotbox, and it pops you right back into where you left off. You can go Control B and the number 1. You can see what's going on in your server. So definitely, but you have to wait till this is done syncing so you can broadcast through your wallet that you are now an official Smoke witness. And that's all there is to it. So thanks for watching. I hope this helps a lot of you out there that are having problems, or you want to start witnessing and you don't know how to do it. I hope this helps you. If you want to start witnessing and you don't even know how to set up a server or anything like that, or you want like my DigitalOcean discount code so you can get $10 free to just run it for a month, see if you like it, if you can do it, let me know. I'm in the Smoke Discord group. You feel free to message me in DMs or whatever. Always open to help. You can also comment below if you have questions or concerns. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I'm providing value to you guys, even though it is sporadic and not consistent on Smoke. But I have to do what I can do without being, taking pictures of weed all the time. Because I don't have any weed to take pictures of. Yeah. Anyway, have a good one, guys. I'm always here to help. Peace and love.